yesterday. I'm sorry I wasn't here.
Well, we really missed you, though. That's all I want to say.
Thank you
I
very
know
much.
you've got things to do. I understand.
No, no, it wasn't that.
Okay. I hope it was worth it.
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
That's okay.
But I did take your advice yesterday
What was that?
not to go in a restaurant, just to go and get that. So because I went to Waco yesterday because I had to do some stuff there, and
Okay.
the restaurants were starting to get open. People could
I
go in.
know. I know.
And I said, no, one of my young men told me not to go in. And I took the order. See, I listen a little bit. I know I'm old and stubborn, but I do listen once in a while.
Well, that's encouraging.
What do you mean
And
that's
good for you.
Because I can't go to Waco without going to this one restaurant because it's really good. It's on 35.
What's
So,
it called?
Hyde Miller's. Have you ever been?
I have not.
If you really want good chicken fried steak and good food, and the best Mexican martinis.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I
the
like a
best.
Mexican martini.
Oh, I do too. Love
I
it.
try to stay away from Waco though. I
Why?
don't go there really too much.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a booming place. I'm going to tell you, it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
That Magnolia's she is taking over that whole town because she's got now 3 restaurants in Waco, and now she's building a big like another 5, 6 restaurants, or not restaurants, but things all in the corner. It's really unbelievable.
Dang.
Yeah. It's so close to West because I have a lot of friends in the West, so It's on the way. Ivan, good to see you this morning. Gary.
Morning, Chef.
Good morning. Was it a rough night? You all sound like you really had a rough night. Is it the storm?
No, just trying to get it together.
Life, right?
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
That's the word that we need to use is life. Good morning, Kendricks. Trying to wake up? No. How's your puppy? In the cage? In the cage, right? Yeah, I figured. Not too far from the master. I see that smile. Anybody do anything yesterday? Did you go for a walk? Did you go out and do some exercising a little bit, or just stayed in all day?
I got free tacos from Taco Bell.
Oh, well, that's okay. So they were giving out free tacos? How many did they give you? 1?
Yeah, it's 1 per person, but they did it every Tuesday in April.
Really? I don't know. To me, their tacos are like really smushy and small.
Okay, but free is free.
Yeah, I know the word free. I get it. I understand. I totally understand. You know, can't be picky, right? But as chefs, we kind of get picky when we go to or when we go to restaurants, because we couldn't do it this way or serve it this way. We get to be judgmental a little bit, and sometimes we have to swallow that and get over it. True? Yeah, I understand. But that's their interpretation of making some money. And a lot of people love it, which is good. Andre, I see you're here with us. Great. You know you're going to have to show me your face. Marcel. Okay, so we're up to 15, which is really good. Thank you for this early in the morning. Like it that you all put your white shirts on. Good morning, Loretta. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chef, what's wrong with your dog, your puppy?
Oh, they're all, they didn't like, one of them doesn't like the weather. The
Oh, 'cause
storm.
he's always breathing like that.
Yeah, well, she's got a problem with, she's a Pomeranian and she has a problem with from her nose to her throat down here. And when they get older, they get that problem that they can't breathe.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we've taken her and they've done 2 surgeries on her. She is 14 years old. So they've done all the surgery on her and they can't do any more. So,
Yeah.
but she's a happy dog, except she has a hard time when she gets excited breathing.
I'm sure it's not as
So-
loud as it comes across the screen.
Yeah, and you know, and yeah, I understand. And then the thing is, the doctor said, well, you know, you can put her to sleep, but she's such a happy girl. And it's just hard to do that after you've had her for that long.
I know what you mean.
Very hard.
Yeah.
But she's a good girl. Good morning, James. So. Yeah. Well, today is really menu analysis and updating a little bit of what you want your menu to look like, or understanding it a little bit more. Making it simple really will help you decide on a lot of different things. Coming close to the end of a project that restaurants are all about. I just wish that we were all together so we can all understand and walk through it instead of you doing it initially by yourself. It's sometimes a little helpful when somebody sees something else as a design or how you want to put your menu together. So we are going to be talking a little bit about that. The introduction, the first draft of your menu isn't going to always be perfect. Something what you want, something you want to convey, you know, and how do you advertise for making people come in? People have a statement to say. People have something that they want to convey. I don't see Chef there. Chef, are you around?
You're on your own this morning, Chef.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the first draft of your menu. Isn't going to be a perfect thing. Some items will sell better than others. I think I can share screen. No.
Hey, Chef, do you know if the slides are up on the portal? Would you like us just to follow along?
Yeah, why don't you do that for me?
Okay.
Yeah, today's up. Yesterday's wasn't.
Okay, then yeah, don't worry about sharing your screen, Chef Pavel. We'll just follow along on the portal.
Who said that, James?
Yes, ma'am.
Boy, you're my hero today.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, I mean, I just love how you all adapt and make it work. Okay, Jonas, what?
So we're looking at day 18, correct?
No, we're looking at day 25, guys.
Jonas, if you click day 18 on the
It's
on
the
that,
day 25 PowerPoint on day 18.
yeah, on
Yeah.
the top, if you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because we had to kind of reschedule. We had to reschedule a lot of different things on how to get it done. So, but today is day 25, but really on day 18.
I heard.
Because I think Chef sent it all to you. Okay, the first draft of your menu is going to be perfect. Some items will sell better than expected, and some will not be served at all. I mean, putting a billboard or a little chalkboard outside your restaurant to say, come try the worst meatball sandwich that one guy yelped ever had in his life, the worst. But you know what? Remember, when you use adjectives on some items that you're using, sometimes it entices people to come in and get it. Make them motivated to come and try. So it's really a good thing. Some dishes won't fit the concept of the restaurant, or you might notice that you can start adding new menu items with the equipment and the ingredients you already have. Remember yesterday we were talking about using some of the items so you don't have so many things in your kitchen and the freezer or the refrigerator. What can I multitask using the items that I have in the house? Sometimes something doesn't come in and you have to readjust and make it work. So there are so many things that you can forego and make it happen. Once you open your restaurant and see the menu in action, you start to get a better idea of what works and what doesn't work on your menu. Remember, number 75, hamburger with chips. Number 76, cheeseburger with chips. If you are doing things and you have an overload of an item, you can add to it, or you can make it so you don't have to go make other things. Make it a lot easier for you. King burger with chips, egg burger with chips, understanding it. So different ways of making it. You'll want to analyze your menu so that you can really see it. You know, appetizers, soup, and then it goes to lamb kebabs, special of the day, chicken tikka. Who wouldn't buy chicken tikka? That's one of the best meals there is. Has anybody ever had chicken tikka? Any of you? Well, put it on your list. It's really good, isn't it, James? Have you had it? It's really good, isn't it?
It's delicious.
Delicious.
Yep.
So it's something that is really, it's marinated in yogurt overnight. Did you know that?
Just a braised chicken. It's so good. So
Yeah, and they marinate it in yogurt and Indian spices all for 24 hours before they cook it. It's really good. It's not that spicy, really. It's really inviting. And then, you know, you can have a salad section, and then you're going to have, remember what we talked about the menu, the appetizer, the main meal, and the dessert. So there's so many different things where you can take a menu on your menu and realize how important each part of the menu is to make it work. So analysis of a menu item by dividing the menu by popularity, profitability. You should have 4 different kinds of items. Stars, plow horses. Have you ever heard that name before? Puzzles and dogs. Breaking it down to understand. The stars are the high demand, low cost. The plow horses are high demand and high cost. Low demand are the puzzles and low cost. And low demand is high cost. Stars, the stars on the menu with high popularity and high profitability. Your menu should emphasize these. Competing items analysis. What is a plow horse? Like we just heard. Let's go back here for a second and see. Sorry. Plow horse, high in demand and high cost. Cost an awful lot to make it, labor-wise and ingredients-wise. We learned yesterday understanding what an item for a menu, how do we come up with a menu item? And how do we price a menu item? Remember, really costing out each item on that item itself. Even a pinch of salt, a little blade of parsley, it doesn't matter to make it work. Beef tenderloin, the star, flat iron, ribeye, and the plow horse, pork chops, chicken, tian, dog, cod, fettuccine, and the puzzle, mockfish. That's what we all decide on different items that you want to make on a menu. Deciding the cost factor of everything is. So let's look at the stars. Your menu design should be highlight your stars rather than change up the ingredients in these items. Keep them consistent and promote them in any way you can. The star of your menu.
Chef Cliff just texted me and wanted me to let you know that he will log on as soon as power is
Yeah, he texted me.
Okay, all right, yeah, he just wanted me to let you know. He didn't know if you got it or not. Yeah.
I got it.
Yep. All right, cool.
I got it. But I can't be on the phone and be on the.
That's what I figured. I let him know that I was going to let you know.
I mean, my light comes on my phone when I get a message, so
Yep.
I saw that.
He's without power right now.
Yeah, that's all right. Workhorses. So stars are something you promote any way you can to make that menu work. The workhorses or the plow horses are the menus on high in popularity and low in profitability. You know, I would say croissant for me as in a bakery would be a high end because it's low profitability and high in popularity. Because when you come to a bakery, how many people really can send on a croissant, a fresh baked croissant? I do. I mean, I'm not saying that you can go to HEB and buy a box of 12 of them for whatever, but remember, they come in and then you proof them and you bake them. When you're eating a croissant from a bakery, it's usually made, the croissant dough is made, rested, and made fresh every day. It's a totally different feel in your mouth. I don't know if you felt that. Totally different feel in your mouth of the crunchness and the layers of fat. Anybody done all your bread classes already? Any of you done your bread classes to make bread at school? Right? You made a croissant, right? Did you understand the layers that it takes to make it, the time it takes to make it, the folds it takes to make it? So the cost of making a croissant with labor is by high and intense. But the resale value of that croissant is not. You've got to keep it low for people to come in. You can't charge them $3.50 or $4 for one croissant. It's impossible. You won't make anything. I mean, they're not going to come in. So we lose in some areas, we pick it up in other areas. They're goods to have on your menu since they are comfortable options for patrons to fall back on. But you should think the ways to make them more profitable. Thinking about it. Making a powerhouse, the star, the dog, and the puzzle. The plow horse, you might try experimenting with less expensive ingredients in the dish to create more profitability version. If there is a larger menu item in this category, see if the portion size is killing the profit. Remember, even when you work your menu and cost it out, guys, you're going to have to say a 6-ounce serving and cost it out as a 6-ounce serving. If you add anything that you add to it is not true to a price if you do not stay to the numbers. So a larger menu item on this category and portion size is killing the profit. There is so much that the customers are leaving these items on the plate. Or you make the item so big that one person, a couple coming in, will buy one item and share it. That is not your dream, guys. Your dream is for them to clean that plate and not share it with too many people. If you start sharing it with too many people, they're going to buy one item and they're coming in the restaurant. You don't want that. You're there to make money. And you're there to express an experience that they're going to get in front of them, for them to keep coming back to buy your food. So think about portion control and what you put on a menu for people to look at and want. You could put a smaller size and a larger size. You could have had that steak or a piece of chicken. You could have had a 6-ounce or an 8-ounce. You can put that on the menu. Let them decide what they want to eat, but don't give it to them free. Puzzles are menu items with low popularity and high profitability. They should work to promote these, emphasize them on menus, and have servers recommend them. Remember, who are the people that make it work for you out of all of it? Who are the ones that sometimes benefit the restaurant? The chef? Yeah, but he's doing a great job putting the food together. But who's your salespeople? The wait staff. They're the ones that suggest and make things work. If you don't have a server, if you have a server that comes to the table and says, "Good morning," or "Yay, glad you're here. What do you want? Want water, coffee?" Personable. You've got to have somebody that can talk to people. You've got to have somebody that can sell something. Doesn't mean you need to sell everything on the menu. And then when somebody, and a lot of them, guys, when you come into a restaurant, always say, "You know, this is the first time I'm coming in here. What would you say is a good item?" How many of you have done that? I have. That's what we want out there, is to make people represent what you're cooking. Represent what you want to say and express. Because if somebody drives in and not do anything and just stay there, you're doing you a favor. So very important. Also, you might have an unpopular because their price is too high. If you can reduce the price of a puzzle while keeping it profitable, it might be considering that you should do that. But there are a lot of people, guys, that go to a restaurant and come in just for that puzzle. Whatever they say floats their boat to make sure that they come and eat it. How many do you sell a week? If you're selling 20 a week, I'm not going to change the price. Why should I lower it? So 25 would eat it. The little amount that you would lose, you didn't gain that much. Thinking about different sections or different things. How about the puzzle here? Investigate whether the customer likes the taste of that item. You may need to relent these or regain these, but sometimes simply lowering prices will increase popularity enough to produce a higher overall profit. Exactly what I just said. Look at the picture and see if it's worth lowering the price on that popular item. Unpopular. You may also want to feature these items on your menu, make them specials or portion them in a different way. Adding and subtracting different items to make it profitable for you. The dog. Our menu items are low in popularity, low in profitability. If you can get rid of these, but there are times when there isn't an option. For instance, kids menus are lower priced and regular items are typically with a lower profit margin as a result. Your grilled cheese sandwiches might be impossible to get rid of. If so, you should think of ways of lowering the cost or labor cost on them, on the items. Remember, sometimes with the kids menu, you have to adapt because the kids are coming in there because they love that way of making a grilled cheese sandwich or the way that you make that item for a child. Some of the children are the biggest salespeople ever. Dogs. Consider admitting your dogs, but be careful. You may have a menu item that is a staple among customers, but not yours. Instead of removing these items, you can de-emphasize or by hiding them on your menu. Analysis of your menu items. This is a method of analyzing situations using non-measurable data, such as your competitor's menu. Remember what I said, when you open a place, you need to really scout your restaurant or see where your food truck is. Walk around. Don't be like an investigator. Keep it low, but walk around and see what they're offering. What does the menu look like? Maybe go buy something from their food truck. $10 is not going to hurt you when you've got a business that you're running and you've got a competitor right there. Look and see what you like. Is it your food? Is that your interpretation of what you like, but a different way of going around it? What else? Although qualitative data is harder to put into a chart, it is just as important knowing how to update your menu. Are you old school? Are you out of the box now to do your menu? What do you want to represent? And to make it work. What do you want to offer? You want to be unique in a sense. You want to offer that somebody says, oh my gosh, I don't know what to choose. How many times have you come to a restaurant and you love everything and you say, oh my gosh, everything sounds good. Wow, that's a great place. That's what we want. One important part of Quality analysis is following the trends of the food service industry. Follow it. Look around what is going on. Good morning, Andre. For example, healthy eating has been a trend in the food service in the past decade. Where's Dahlia? Delilah. Are you here today? I don't see you.
Hey, Chef. Chef Cliff just texted me and said that lightning hit a transformer next to his house, so he will not be on today.
Okay, got it. For example, healthy eating has been a trend in the food service in the past decade. But what healthy eating means has changed over time. The term has referred to everything from low carb to low fat to gluten-free. So to intend a healthy portion on your menu, you should be aware of what the newest trends in healthy eating are. If you intend to include healthy options on your menu, you should be aware of the newest trend in healthy eating. You just said that, sorry. Following trend projections not only help you ahead of the trend, but also aid you in understanding what tomorrow's customers is all about. What fulfills the needs and how business can be ready to meet these demands. Food trends, predictions for 2019. Are you included in that food trend? Are you thinking about that food trend of interpreting food? Desserts will get a better of you. Spin. People are getting permission to eat getting what they love. An array of sweet and superfoods is finding its way into the menu. Hummus, Peter Company, line of desserts. Heavenly sweetened with chocolate cookie dough. Ever thought of that? They also introduced pumpkin spice hummus, shake in the fall. Sometimes I think hummus for me is really heavy. Everybody feel that? I mean, I can eat some, but I can't eat a lot. Does anybody like hummus? I love hummus, but I can't eat a lot of it to understand. It also includes gluten-free Al-Perez cookies. Who does not love Al-Perez cookies? Really inviting with, with the cajeta between it. Really great caramel in between. Yum. A Parisian restaurant in Chicago also sprinkles it with chocolate mousse and toasted quinoa. Another way of making it out of the box. Making it gluten-free. Healthy. Whose Kitchen's health-focused fast casual restaurant in New York City is pronounced like the first stable in human. Has an entire mash bra where guests can assemble their own sweet, not terrible for you concoction or order a creative one. So one of the items is mango and organic puff quinoa on Bonito, which has almond butter, grain-free granola, cashew cream, and organic strawberries. A mouthful by itself. Do you think that that place is cheap? How many people think it's cheap? Anytime you use the organic, You use cashew, grain-free granola, almond butter. The ingredients already is pretty high. He's better have the clientele that can supply that to make it work. So he's really thought this process over of what he wants to do. This is a trend with genuine legs, or consumers continue to seek an excuse to indulge. If that means dazzling your ice cream with olive oil and adding chai seeds to your milkshakes, then so be it. I don't know if I'd like the olive oil on ice cream. Anybody tried it? I don't think I want it. The chai seed, I think I can get away in a milkshake. I think I can get away with that one, but definitely not olive oil. But remember, I don't know if you've done gastronomy. They have olive oil dust. Now that wouldn't be too bad on ice cream. You all have any of you taken gastronomy in your classes yet? Not yet? Wait till you get to that, it's fun.
Chef, I have a question.
Yeah,
Are there restaurant seminars? I know there's restaurant newsletters because I see them all the time, just in talking about keeping up with the trends of a restaurant.
no, I don't know in town if they do, but they should be something. Well, I don't think they are anything in town that you could go one-on-one with. But then you could also, I mean, you can belong to the restaurant association that they have meetings to see what other people are doing. But I think the internet would be the only thing that you would really look at the trend part of it.
The American Culinary Federation, ACF, puts out some really good stuff. You can either get some like actual printed literature from them, or their newsletter comes out bi-weekly on email as well. ACF's really good about that, Loretta.
But how much is it? It's $100 a year or something like that,
It's a
isn't
good
it?
question. I'm not sure. I know if you get ACF certified, it's free with your being a part of ACF. But that's a good question.
It's pretty expensive.
I don't think it's cheap. Yeah, I don't think to be part of ACF, I know isn't cheap. So yeah.
No, it isn't. But that's the only way I can think that they kind of keep it.
And being ACF certified too, you have access to like once you start your own restaurant, you kind of have access to putting some stuff out there, getting ACF certified sous chefs or line cooks, and being part of ACF is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then they really help you find jobs where you want to go. If you want to go to another state, they help you.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, if you move. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're talking about locally, right? Because I was kind of speaking nationwide, you know.
this is nationwide. ACF is nationwide.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Oh, you want it locally?
No, not locally. Just
You want it nationwide. ACF is nationwide. The big organization started in New York with chefs.
I believe
It's so big.
ACF's magazine is called World Chef. Hold on, actually, I have it.
Thanks, James. Thank you. But that's a really good endpoint, Loretta, to find out what is in and what is out. And Andre, with all your desserts that you want to sell, maybe that olive oil on your ice cream bowl would be a good one.
Yeah, Loretta, if you subscribe to this World Chef, it's a really good. It comes out every other week.
okay.
And it's really good. It's from the World Association of Chef Societies. And if you go to worldchefs.org, it's a really good magazine and stuff.
And that gives you an idea.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, World Chefs is a good. It started in 2018, I believe.
Oh, so it's pretty new.
It's new, yeah.
Yeah. Majority of the executive chefs should be ACF certified. A lot of them are looking for that, for it. It takes a toll to, or I shouldn't say it takes a toll. It takes a lot of practice, work to get yourself certified. Usually, sometimes a lot of people don't pass on the first time. It's like they say when you take a real estate license or get a certification to be a realtor, the first time you take the exam, you always flunk. And then the second time you go take it, it's a lot understandable for what is expected of you. One of my chefs my work husbands that worked with me for 14 years is now one of the lead people at the ACF, that he does all the testing and travels all over Texas to ACF. So, yeah. Okay, so that is one of the things. Thanks for asking that, Loretta, because that's a good question.
No problem.
I know. So Grow Brew will seek a backlash. Cold brew coffee is here to stay. You know, if you go to the East Coast, I don't know if you all know this, but if you go to the East Coast a lot, if you've been, a lot of people drink iced coffee there. You come to Texas and nobody drinks iced coffee. They look at you like you're a weird duck. You know, I mean, I was raised on iced coffee, love iced coffee. And then I come here and my mother-in-law looked at me like if I was nuts. Oh, you don't want that? Well, that's what I like, you know? So it's one of these things that you, what it is, but it is coming back into Texas. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be one of the things that are going to be really big in different parts. Starbucks has already christened it.
The new thing now is whipped coffee.
Is it whipped coffee?
Yeah, you whip it for like 4 minutes and it like you mix it in cream.
It's
And
nasty.
I don't like it, but it's supposedly like a lot creamier and it's not really that good. But
So you just take regular coffee and you can put it in one of those mixer things and
yeah, like a frother.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you froth it, but you got to do it for like 4 or 5 minutes.
for that
And then
long.
Water and sugar.
when you mix it in, it's like supposed to be a lot creamier and like almost like whipped cream coffee. It's not. I don't like it, but it's coming in pretty big.
It's only because of TikTok.
I like it just like coffee and a little bit of cream. Not foo-foo cream. I don't like that hazelnut and apple joe, whatever they call it. I don't like any foo-foo stuff added to it. Just like cream and coffee. Many consumers like its smoothies. It hints of chocolate, impact sweetness. Manufacturers have figured out how to make it very consistent product and are delivering it in kegs and concentrate to restaurant, bars, and coffee shops. But some coffee aficionados are striking back, complaining the cold brew made by soaking grounds in cold water for 16 hours and don't properly extract it for more distinctive flavor. It's really good coffee, leaving the terror behind in the beans. And the new machines, again, quickly chill hot brewed coffee to whatever temperature customers like. And you have a convenient alternative. Cold brews distractors argue let coffee be served cold or quickly without dismissing quality. So some parts yay and nay. Some people love coffee presses. How many of you own a coffee press? Like the coffee. Some of us chefs lived on coffee for the last 30 years. I used to drink 20, 25 cups a day. Can't do it anymore. You know? So that's all I had was coffee all day long. Can't do it. You got it. It really hurts your body in the long run, guys. So brewers are building some momentum, putting forward arguments that hot brewed coffee is better for you. One study shows that antitoxin The cold brew is more hot brewed cold coffees are likely to join the marketplace in 2019. Then consumers will decide what they like best. Oat milk will be a hot dairy alternative. Dairy-free, nut-free, possibly gluten-free, depending on where the oats are processed. The milk substitute is drawing fans with a texture that is creamier and most of its counterparts. It also has more protein than nut milks, but less than soy milk and actual milk. The more fiber than any of them. Oat milk is becoming more commonplace in coffee houses. It is showing up on menus. Protein bars, a chain of 20 units based in Chicago, where the big date is a blend of dates, cocoa nibs, banana, vanilla, whey, protein, and oat milk. That's a hot date. Only kidding.
Sounds like a hot mess.
I know. Thank you. I don't know if I would pick that, guys. I mean, I don't know. You got to go with the trend sometimes and just swallow and get over it. There's a broader trend driving oat milk craze. The Coca-Cola company, citing Mintrol data, reported that 36% of consumers said that they would buy coffee with a non-dairy milk. And 35% said they would like coffee with added protein. Wow. The trend will all get an additional boost when the Pepsi-Cola launches oat beverages under the Quaker brand in 2019. Wow. To make anything possible. Lager, you will soon see love again. Maybe it's a sour beer that drives craft beer lovers and producers over the edge. That made them say, you know what? It might be nice to have beer that I don't think about in order to enjoy. Maybe hot bombs or brews infected with bacteria ain't and be all the end of what is available in fermented malted grain. Working outside the box to give customers flavor and another different additive, as we would say. These days, craft beers are likely brewers are talking about clean, crisp lagers. I like that. How many people like beer? Light or heavy? Which one?
All of it.
All of it? Well, you know, us Czechs will drink anything, but yeah, I like beer, but I like it a little bit lighter. I don't like it like the heavier stuff. So when you're drinking, you can feel the weight going down. For me, the taste. But it's fun, especially with good music, right? American consumers never actually stay too far from the lager, depending on the rapid growth of craft beer in general. And Indian pale ales in particular, craft beer shares of the national beer market. Only around 12.7% of volume and 23.3% of dollar terms. According to the Brewers Association, the trade body of independent craft brewers. Have you noticed, if you've been around Austin and you drive around or looking at different things, have you noticed that people are starting to brew their own beer more so? The restaurants are saying to come in and buy their own beer. How they interpret a beer. One of the places that I went to yesterday is a restaurant in Waco. Well, it's being built. Is bringing in all the equipment, everything from the Czech Republic in this restaurant. The brewery is going to be made in their lobby for them to taste the beer from Europe. They're investing $10 million in this one place to open up. The building is just really started. It's not going to open until later on this year. But they're bringing in everything so they can sell beer in the United States. Bringing their recipes, their chefs, their brewmasters to make it work. Pretty inventive. They had to do an awful lot of research to see if it would really go over big here. Now those independent brewers are increasingly turning to what arguably the most difficult beer to brew well. Lagers don't have many funky or floral hops to hide behind and cannot be sweetened up with the extra malt. They have to be balanced and easy drinking. A growing number of craft breweries are trying their hands at it. Some of them have been doing it for years, and consumers are likely to respond. We've got the beet. The root vegetable will be everywhere. You can see it now. All the chefs are choosing beets, carrots, and incorporating them in the menus that they have. What is that saying? Farm to table, coming across, fresh beets. You were talking about that yesterday, James, carrots and stuff to go on hummus, black hummus, wasn't it? Understanding and borrowing, making it more inviting, healthier. People are more on a healthy trend of making things work. Beets are popping up like taking root, as we say. A vast cross-section of menus from udon bowls to beverages and beggar purses. The Little Beet, or a gluten-free chain with 9 units on the East Coast, is making a name for itself with beets on the forefront. And while deep ruby beets make an incredible impression, delectable impression, golden beets are stepping into the spotlight too. How many people knew there were so many different types of beets? Before, you used to buy them in a can and nobody would touch them. And now everybody wants to be on the bandwagon to get it, to make it work. Beets are part of a plant-forward movement, as well like spaghetti or meatballs, with their blood-like attributes. Rudy, through that. So beets can be elegant too, as a recent chef's summit in Monterey, California, put all the marcons or cooperations and Mushroom Council. Beets stole the show with beggar purses and called the glamorous world of 1980. An eye towards a sustainable, down-to-earth future of plans for the culinarians to make it work. But don't you think that when somebody comes up with an imaginative menu, say like person started out this beet issue, don't you think it took a lot of time and really pressure, not pressure, I wouldn't say that, but imaginative, how to relay the beets and welcome them to the world? I think so. Because nobody else would have thought of it. And I don't think the person that brought the beet issue in thought it would get that big. But it does have some great taste to make it work. Anybody like beets?
I do.
I think it's one of the, I really believe that it is one of the best vegetables or the items that you can put on a plate for color, for expressing. I mean, put beets next to mashed potatoes. And if they're just done right or roasted right, or even carrots, the old way or the way to put the carrots with being the long with maybe some greens on it, not the whole string of them, but something that has some color. Green, orange, and beets. Really expressive.
Parkside, we do a beet salad with the golden beets and the ruby beets with green carrot tops, and it's and like a Greek yogurt kind of dressing. It's a really good starter.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great starter.
Yeah, I bet you your chef, he's really got it. He's got his stuff together.
He's a good one. He's a good one.
Where did he come from?
So he's been it's Chef Austin, and he's been there for 12 years, and he started as a prep cook there and just made his way up. He graduated from Le Cordon Bleu before they closed down.
Oh, before over here.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Is anybody else from the Escoffier there?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Both of our sous chefs are both from Escoffier.
Well, I knew somebody that was there for pastry for a long time, and now she's in New York.
Yeah, and our pastry sous chef is from Escoffier as well. I don't get to see her very much because she's upstairs in the pastry kitchen, but she's also from Escoffier.
Yeah, we had one that, I mean, she was there maybe 5 or 6 years, but she is phenomenal.
Well, my age too, the one that's there now. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen her.
Oh yeah. But anyway, remember when you are out in the field or starting out someplace or working in a restaurant, remember your co-workers that you're working with, always remember them, because if they work really hard and they want to prove something, you kind of help them along the way to come and bring them into positive kitchens. Because sometimes there are not a lot of positive kitchens and people get distracted and people get down on themselves and not follow through with a career. In this kind of career, just because something is slapped down doesn't mean you go stay down. You have to pick yourself up and move yourself and motivate yourself to go somewhere where it is positive and where you can carry on. Because you worked all this time and all this is hard to get to where you are. And people don't mean sometimes to be cruel, but they are. I'd rather have somebody tell me a lot, but when he tells you a negative item, I want him to help you overcome it and go in another direction of what you might want to do. Do you get what I'm saying? You might be constructive criticism, but he needs to help you have a resolution to that problem or that saying to make it work. So it's really it's a world, a new world that you're undertaking and making it work. If you get in a good environment and work someplace where you love what you're doing and learning something, guys, you've got to learn to make it work. Then anything is possible. But don't get in a rut and don't get someplace where you get abused, when I'm not saying physically, mentally, or verbally, and take it. Because this is you're talking about. This is your future. And sometimes some of us get hurt. So really surround yourself with people that are really positive and make a difference in your life. And make it happy where you are. Not something just to show up, to make it work. Okay, in addition, beet liquid is adding their healthy touches to juices and smoothies. Smoothies is such a big item now. You know, a few years ago, they used to call smoothies really shakes. Did you know that? And now they have to upscale that word by smoothie to make it work. You can able to go savory or mingle it with sweet components like bananas or vanilla almond milk. Almond milk, big time. 2 years ago, it wasn't that popular, but it has really taken over. Sea vegetables will gain a threshold in the United States. Asian and European diners have grown accustomed to seeing seaweed, or sea vegetables as they're called, on finer dining menus. The U.S. customers are starting to ride the wave of popularity. All the ingredients for gastronomy, guys, is made out of seaweed and different things from the ocean. Really a healthy, no chemical reaction. Not many chemicals added to it to make it work. All the chemicals that are made for gastronomy is out of seaweed. How do you interpret that? Seaweed consumption is growing 7% annually in the United States, according to James Griffin, Associate Professor at Johnson in Wales. Griffin also sea vegetables in the higher level of dining have been growing rapidly over the past 10 years. Over the last 3 years, incredibly fast. Anybody else ever work with seaweed? To understand it? I've had fried seaweed. It's like chips. Never thought. Different ways of interpreting to make it work. To make different things. So another level, instead of having all different like beans or corn, different interpretation. Beets and the things from the ocean. Carrots, also not really from the ocean, but healthy way of cooking. Your salmon grilled, just in the oven or in a salamander. Different ways of interpreting food and making us more healthy. Anybody have any questions? Is this the way that you would want your place to kind of run? Remember, we've got a couple of people that really want to zone in on health food. You know, you could, as a catering person, have two different types you could offer them. A healthy version and a regular version of menu items. Or you could put a star next to it and say, I can do this item in a healthy version. That's what some customers want. Some customers say, no, just give me the taste. That's what I want. I want them to be wowed. I want them to eat. This is not time to be on a diet. When it's time of celebration, it's a time of catering. I get that all the time. Which direction do you want me to go? A lot of people that splurge to come out to eat. Some people that go out to eat all the time are going to trend towards a healthier menu. But there are some of them that are going to gravitate, so when they go out to eat, they want a meal. How many of you feel that way? You know? Yeah, but you know, on the menu you could have fish. Doesn't mean that I want you to cook that fish a certain way. Doesn't mean that it is not healthy, because fish is healthy. If you fry it, it's a little different story, guys. But it not really is more healthy than if you're going to pick something else. So there's different ways of interpreting what you think is healthy in your life than somebody else's. And how do you express it? Chef Renee in Copenhagen is using seaweed for a varieties of ways. At Smooths in Chicago, Chef John Shields or Karen Uren Shields have earned 2 Michelin stars. Seaweed Sea Vegetable Creations. Sea lettuce cookies. Think about it. Maybe drying them in the oven. How many people use an awful lot of I don't know if you've done this, but a lot of people dry a lot of I've dried an awful lot of mint in an oven. I've dried basil in an oven. And then put it through a coffee mill. How many of you done that? Fabulous.
Or if you pop basil in like grease and oil and use it as a garnish, that's always a.
And you know, the next time, you know what you need to try that way? Is tarragon.
Ooh, okay, okay.
To tell you, when I was in the restaurant, I used to fry tarragon in the sprig and put it on desserts. And then the leaves crumble onto the dessert, and it's phenomenal.
That's cool. Yeah, because what's cool about the basil is it almost turns translucent, and then it's got it adds texture, color.
And if you really want something else, you could take simple syrup and coat that basil with and put it in the oven and bake it.
Ooh, ooh.
You know what it does? It just sweetens for me the pastry world. So I'm thinking a little bit different than you all a little bit, but it sweetens it up just a little bit. Do it with mint. It's really outstanding what it does. But tarragon is really the top for me. I love tarragon, and just frying it, sizzle it, bring it out of the hot oil. And you know what? Sometimes it flavors the oil, so you can put it on something else.
Yeah.
So multitasking again to make something work. So there's so many different ways of interpreting a little bit of flavor. I mean, who would have thought seaweed cookies? But really thinking outside the box. Then also, you know, what they could even have done is taken that seaweed, ground it in a coffee mill, you know, those little coffee mills. You can buy them at Christmas time at Crate and Barrel or whatever they call that store. They're $10. You better be having 3 or 4 of them, because I use one for coffee. I use one for nuts, because you want to grind your nuts really small. Then I have one for spices, because you don't want the spices to hit the nuts. Think about it. For $10 a whack, and you put them on your shelf and you label them, you won't interact the spices of all 3 of those. If you use one and you have to keep washing it out, and once you get a spice in there, you can't get it out. The spice smells all the time. And keep it handy. So it really does help a lot. Dry the seaweed, the sea lettuce cookie, as they would call it, to make it work. So anybody have any other ideas or different things? Anybody? Awful quiet today. Trying to wake up in the middle of the week. Wednesday. A good day to make it work. Randall, I hope you're feeling better or your family's feeling better. Did I wake you up, Kendricks? It's okay.
They didn't eat what I ate, but yeah, hopefully I'll be feeling better tomorrow.
Yeah. Anybody else? Jose, are you there? Andre?
Yes, Chef, I'm here.
Okay. Like to see your face, Pumpkin.
I'm here, Chef.
Are you there? Thank you.
Yes, Chef.
All right. Oh, much better. Much better, Jose. All right. 15-minute break, guys. Thank you. We'll be back at 25 past. I'm gonna write down all my people.
Hey, Chef.
Yeah.
It's Roro.
Hey, Roro, you
Yes,
know
ma'am.
what? I owe you a huge apology.
No, it's okay.
No, don't say it's okay, because it isn't okay. Um,
I'm just anxious.
I know you are. Listen, I owe you. So listen, I try to get on my phone to see where you text me, and with your stuff, and I could not find it for me to look at it for one issue. But can you just send me again? You know my email right now. Could you
Okay.
just send me that one that you sent me?
Yes, ma'am.
Send it to me right now, and I will today. I'm not leaving this chair if I get it done. The minute I got off the phone yesterday, my son came in, and I had my grandkids, and then I went to not Fredericksburg. I went to
Oh,
Waco
yeah.
for a thing, and to see that $10 million place, unbelievable.
You said they're putting the they're gonna freshly brew the beer in the restaurant.
They're gonna have a bakery. They're gonna brew. They're gonna brew the beer. They're gonna have a beer spa on the second floor.
Wow.
They're gonna have a hotel on the 4th and 5th.
Oh, wow.
And so they had asked me to come and see what I thought. It's not in my budget, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but it's a beautiful building. So I spent like a couple of hours there checking that out. Did you notice what I said? I'm checking it out. Do you like that one?
Yes.
And so when I came back and I said, I promised somebody something, and I never, I always come through with what I say I'm going to do. And so I really felt bad, and I really apologize for that, and that's my bad. And so I want to make sure that I want to look at it today, and you and I will FaceTime you. Do you have an iPad?
Yes, ma'am.
And so what I'll do is FaceTime you, put your telephone number on it, and I'm going to FaceTime you, and we'll walk through it together.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes. So I was doing some thinking yesterday about, because I just don't want to invest so much money in the food truck. I want to wait until I can get my clientele before I invest in the food truck just so suddenly.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about going into meal prepping. Meal prepping, like Snap Kitchen. I don't know if you heard of that, but prepping meals for everybody instead of doing.
Do you want to own that company?
Yes. Not Snap Kitchen, no.
I understand. The only thing I'm going to tell you is you probably could you're going to have to hit the road.
Yeah, I was gonna invest in. I'm also looking to renting out a kitchen space.
Yeah.
So I just rent it out for like 2 days and prep everything, and then just give my client. But I just know because everybody doesn't like to eat the same thing every day.
But you really got to have a clientele for that. So that means you're going to have to really. I know somebody that does that. That does it very well. So I could get you in contact with her. Her name is Stephanie. and she is a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
community I want to go focus on is like people that's either health conscious or fitness based.
yeah, oh my gosh. So Stephanie preps meals 1 day a week, and she delivers them to her clientele. But I could have her talk to you, or what, you know what would be a really great idea if in the next week, maybe I could have her come and talk to you all. I think some of you would like that.
Okay. Yes.
About, no, I really mean that.
Invite her.
And she is a graduate of Muscapier.
Uh-huh.
And she does, because I live north, she lives in Hutto, just like I do. But she has her gym here in Hutto. And, you know, and I think her way of interpreting something healthy for people to start a business about prepping things. Do you know what I mean? Like what you want to do. And see what the requirements are.
Because I know it's a lot of diets, or people either want to lose weight, gain weight, or have a balanced nutrition, and then you got the keto diets. Just so many.
Well, they don't want the time to cook.
Yes, that too.
You know, it's a fast-paced life, but let me tell you a little bit. This coronavirus is going to change the world. I'm really serious about that. It's not going to be a regular, I'm not going to be rude. It's not going to be a regular world anymore. You know what? They're going to appreciate restaurants 10 times more than they ever appreciated them before. I promise you. They're going to understand that. They're not going to take us for granted. They're going to be, they're going to be grateful that people have the time. It's like the doctors and lawyers. How many times, if you get sick now and you go to a doctor, you're not going to think about what they've done for us? Think about it. Or as you're going to a hospital to visit somebody, and the service that the nurses come, when you said before in the past, I was there and the nurse never came in. Or being rude about something, and then realizing they have a full-time job trying to take care of everybody. And they're understaffed, just like a kitchen is understaffed usually. And they're running and they're going all the time. When you work with people, or when you are working with people, you've got to have people skills, and you've got to relate to people. How many people get in this business and not be relating to people? How many waiters or waitresses have you found that are freaking rude?
Yes.
And you tell them to go away?
Yes.
I mean, think about this. I mean, this is something that you got to really think about. If you're not a people person, this is really a tough business to be in, because if you can't sell yourself being on the front line or being in the front of the house, you ain't going to make it. You ain't going to make it.
I can't stand someone that's rude. Just because.
Well, I'm rude. I'm not going to deny I'm not rude.
No.
But I mean, I love being rude. I work at it every day.
I'm trying to think of the word for it.
I'm blunt. That's the word.
Yes, me too. I'll let you know,
I'm blunt. But you know what? I'm paying you if you're going to work for me. I'm paying you. I need something back in return. And that's what the whole goal is about life. You've got to be upfront with people. We can't stroke people anymore. And some people shouldn't be chefs. I'm sorry. And somebody says, well, you didn't tell them that. I said, I sure the hell did. Because some people can't take that pressure. They can't be that creative. They can't. They might be, you know what? Yes, that degree will work, but maybe in another space or another interpretation of what a chef is. Nothing wrong in that. I'm not a great computer person. I will admit it. But
it's
guess
okay.
what? I'm trying, huh?
It's okay. Because technology.
But I'm trying. I want to learn. Do you know? I mean, there's some people, I can do some PowerPoint stuff, but I can't do it all. I go back to people that really can support me because I'll do them in some other shit. Do you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
So, you know, I like the way Matthew's laughing up there. Kendrick, he's sleeping. He doesn't even listening to me. It's okay. Sit back and relax and stroke your puppy. But do you see what I'm trying to say? So we all have our ups and we all have our downs. And that's what makes a kitchen fabulous, because you've hired people that automatically make a team and they understand you. That's the key word, understanding you.
Or each other. Everybody understands
As a
each other.
leader, correct. Because you got to have a leader. You cannot not have a leader. You've got to have a director, but you've got to have people that understand the direction. And once they understand it, that leader doesn't need to direct anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the other people know their job. Because when I cater, I have 4 people that work with me, no matter where I go. I don't have to say a word. They know exactly how I want it done. And somebody will say to a new person, well, Papa has this eye, you know, or this direction. And that's how we learn. And this is way we all work. Nobody says anything. Nobody's outdoing anybody else. We as a team make it work. And then I let them get the praise, because you know what? I'm blessed to have them. And that's what it's all about. You know, and I'm blessed to have all of you together to get to know you. And thank you for coming into my life this way. Not the way I would want it, but that's all right, you know?
You got that right.
Isn't that true?
Yes.
So send me that email.
Yes,
to
ma'am.
me.
I just sent it over. I sent my phone number and then I sent
I got it, and your phone number. I will,
Yes.
and I'm gonna ask Stephanie if she can come and talk to us, if she can't, because she does 4 o'clock in the morning. For people
That's
that
the only time. That's the time.
for a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So she starts at 4 in the morning. So this at 6 o'clock is kind of like in the middle of her high point of what she's doing. But she's a bodybuilder, and I mean, she is, in Czech we would say a kočka. And so she has got it. I wish I had the muscles like she does. No, mine are just sagging, you know what I mean? It's okay.
Yeah,
you know
you gotta
what?
get toned up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think you all knew that I lost 240 pounds. So, you know, you can't have baggage if you don't. Where do you put the skin after you've had it?
I know.
Well, but it's okay. It's okay. It's a good thing.
You lost the weight, yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't do it the easy way, but it's good for me. It's already 17 years since I had it done. So it's a good thing. I really like this idea of seaweed cookies. Good idea.
I like seaweed.
The yuppies only want that, so it's not that regular people that come in a bakery would take a seaweed cookie. You've got to have the right place for those kind of recipes. Do you all get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Understand it?
Give you the upper lip, like seaweed cookies.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you got to understand it.
Extra sugar.
Yeah. Or extra butter.
Yes.
You know? So Matthew, are you enjoying what you're saying? Okay.
I got a question.
Okay.
I got a question.
Oh my God. I like the curtains you got up there. Those your grandma's curtains.
They probably my great grandma's. This thing this cabin right here is old as dirt.
I need to show you what I've got in my house, and you'll understand, because it's the same curtains that they're up there.
I see them dishes behind you. They probably older than my daddy.
You're up.
No, but I text Chef.
Are you insinuating that I'm an old buzzard?
I didn't say a word.
But those are not, they're Czech plates. They're not American. Because I'm a quality Czech.
You brought them with you?
You cherish them.
Huh? Yeah, they're plates. And so I collect everything Czech. So that's okay. But it's all right. You can insult me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
On these knowledge checks in our readings, a lot of them are locked. So how are we supposed to read and do the
I'm
knowledge?
going to get them unlocked today.
Okay.
Thank you for telling me. I'll check on that today. I'll get that undone. I'll get them all unlocked.
Already locked for the weeks, and then the weeks to come, they don't unlock until that week.
No, week 4, service the menu knowledge check says it's not going to be open until May 4th. But then the knowledge, like the week 4 menu analysis, which we're doing today, says that it will close Saturday, May 2nd. Well, how is the quiz going to close before the reading even opens?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that don't make sense.
And that is on knowledge 4.
It's like the first few of them work, but when you get towards the bottom, like service in the menu, that reading, it's locked. Updating your menu analysis, they're all like the last little bit is all locked.
Okay. Okay. I'm writing it down. So I'll get that unlocked today. And see if we can get that all unlocked much better.
Thank you.
So you can all get into it or whatever and stuff. I gotta really write down these names because if I don't, then I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. Anybody else have anything?
I got one more question.
Okay.
When we all get together and have this meal you keep talking about, can we eat off of the fine china?
Don't over expenditure. You might be over there. I might have to send it express mail to you or FedEx it to you.
Can you send it fine china? I'll wash it and send it back.
Oh, I don't. How do you know I got fine china?
I can see it behind you.
That's not fine china.
Matt wants that crystal.
That's right.
No, chef, you said that you have like 200 fine chinas for your catering.
You said you got it
for my catering.
Yeah, you said you got it at the Dollar Tree.
I don't like paper. I don't like paper. I gotta have, when I cater, I do it China.
Yeah, chef, you just need to fill up one of those decanters behind you with some bourbon and send it out.
No, I'd send it out with Slikovitz. Have you ever had it?
No, I haven't.
90 proof.
Oh, good God.
At a party, we go through like 3 or 4 of them. But they're it's homemade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And my niece is here, you know. I need you to see her one of these days. She's a Kutchka. She's here. She was an au pair in Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool.
And so she's going home. She's had a stint of 1.5 years, and she's going home. So she's going home Monday. And so she's here, but she's sleeping. Oh, wait, they're all sleeping. Everybody sleeps. But that's okay. Don't you love mornings? You can get so much done. I wonder, do you think that the Riverwalk is open?
It is.
It is open?
In San Antonio?
Yeah.
I believe it's open. So I went there with my parents on the weekend of March, like 15th or 16th, which is like March 11th was when everything was shut down, and they were still open. We went to the Alamo and everything.
I'm sure the boat rides are not going.
No, I highly doubt that. I mean, just because you can't social distance on those boats.
I just want to take her there to show it to her a little bit. You know what I mean?
I'm almost positive you could go down. I don't think anybody's stopping you from walking the river walk. You know,
as long as we wear our mask and we're distant of 5 feet. Correct.
Yeah, like I think you could take her to the Crockett Bridge and at least go look at the Alamo and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, we went to Mount Bonnell. Have any of you been there? Go do it.
Kind of weekend.
It's the tallest place in Austin to see Austin up there. It's free. You walk up there. Mount Bonnell. It's really wonderful. If you like to do hikes and if you like to walk, that's a perfect place to go. And kind of see Austin because you can see the lake and how it goes down all the way. So it's really, and you know, if you stand up there, you can see Sandra Bullock's house right across from it. She's a wonderful young lady. She has a bakery in town. You know that, don't you? She has her sister is running the bakery in town. And it's a restaurant, really. It's really a breakfast, and they have brunches on Sunday. It's right off of, I can't think of that name. It's right near where Whole Foods is, on that same road as Whole Foods. And it's really, I have 2 or 3 of my students working there. And it's really, she does it well. She does it really well. She does a restaurant really thinking about, she has a florist shop in there, and it's a full-size restaurant. And so it's really done well. Really thought of, clearly cleaned out. So it's done. Cafe and food inside. So what else? Anybody else have any questions? Have I talked that much? Sure has. Marcus, how are you today?
I'm doing all right, Jeff.
Just okay? All right.
All right.
Do you want to talk today after school, after class, or do you want to do it tomorrow?
No, I
tell
have
me.
to actually get with their FAQ because I'm sure the situation I'm presenting them is something they haven't really worked with. So
Okay.
I got to talk to them about it and see
Let
if
me
they're.
know.
Of course.
You let me know, and I'll be there to help you do it. You know, I have to live up to my contract too, because I need to make sure that you'll understand and make things work. But I will ask Stephanie if she would like to come and talk a little bit about different ways of interpreting a skill and making it work. I don't know if you all know that Chef Molly, did any of you know Chef Molly that taught at the school at one time?
Yeah.
They're really great. She does catering, and she does an awful lot of things. Loretta, that would be a great place for you to go to work to get a feel for what catering is all about.
Where is that, Chef?
It's here in Austin.
What's the name of it? I missed it. I'm sorry.
It's called I'll let you know before the end of class.
Chef, what was the name of Sandra Bullock's bakery?
Another one, I'll let you know in 2 minutes. I go there all the time because I love
What parts of town it in?
right downtown.
Okay.
It's right downtown. It's worth the investment to go there. Their food is really well done. Jonas, have you been there? Nope. Okay, honey. It's a really, I want you to go and look. I want you to look at the food, and I want you to look at the window, the case. But I want you to see the concept of what she married and bringing it all in together. Do you get what I'm saying? To make it work. So if one is not doing that great, another department is going to be doing a lot better. And she does catering out of her kitchen too. So it is really a well thought of you blend of different things. So,
Chef, were you finished telling us about Molly? I was looking to hear that.
Chef Molly. So she is, God, I just drew a blank right now, and I talk to them all the time. Just a second.
Chef Cliff also just texted me and wanted me to let you know that his power came back on, but no internet still.
I got it.
Okay.
So I'll let you know in a minute. But she has a catering kitchen and she's got people, I have a student working for her, and she has different venues that she supplies to and has food going out. That might be a venue for Roro, for you, for one, because it kind of gives you a stable of a pre-doing kitchen, and also Stephanie that I will hopefully can bring here. With you, Loretta, I know you want to cater, right?
Right.
Yeah, and have that. Chef Molly's kitchen would be a good one for you. So there's different aspects of what you want to get done in different ways of relating. Kimberly, what do you want to do?
Sorry.
What do you-
Like for the project or in life?
No, in life.
Oh, I want to be a home health nurse.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. That's a good thing, because we're gonna need you. I'll need you when I get in that nursing home. Only kidding. Only kidding.
Don't need me before I graduate. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
Remember,
Okay.
I'm already old.
No. Remember, I'm seasoned.
That's what the air quotes are for.
Oh, okay. Seasoned. That's what I tell my son. Don't tell me I'm old. I'm seasoned. That's what somebody told me. We came to that conclusion the other day, wasn't it?
There's somebody in here.
Yeah, somebody in this class said I was seasoned, not old. That's really nice for me. I like to see smiles, guys. It's kind of boring when you don't see too many people and they're not smiling. Correct? Got to think a little bit of cheering each other up and motivating each other to make things work. How important is that? So, as we have purchased fresh or dried, with the dried version being the most common, about 90% of seaweed consumed in the United States is come from Asia. Okay, I think everything seems to be coming from Asia. Look at when you're making and buying stuff, guys, it'll always say made in China or made in India or Asia to make different things. To make it, they've got to be sustainable. Sea vegetables are highly sustainable with typical 6 to 8 months farming span. Done without fertilizers, pesticides, or feed to make sure. Other ways to evaluate your menu. How do we do it? Thank you, Kendricks. Where are you? I don't see you. Are you resting?
Yeah, I think he went to
Did you
sleep.
see his chat? Okay. Other ways to evaluate your menu. How many high profit items do you have in a comparison to lower profit items? Of course, high profit items are more desirable for the business owner, but having some lower profit items, perhaps because of popularity or diet restrictions of a customer, can be beneficial to your business in many ways. Often they can be lured or used to lure and getting customers in the door and demonstrating that your business offers a wide variety of items. For me, it's very hard. I have to pick a restaurant that has a soup and have all the meat things that my husband loves. I have an awful lot of different types of soup. I'm not a person that can eat meat or a hamburger or a steak or anything like that, or chicken. So it has to be someplace that is durable for both of us to make him happy and myself happy to make things work. So hopefully there are restaurants that have both items to make both people aware of what their diet is. Obscure dishes are fun for a chef to provide great opportunity and creativity to introduce your customers to new ingredients and techniques. However, there are still to be said of having some stable listed on your menu. Always. Favorites. Homey kind of recipes. People come in for that to make sure. things that require a little bit or no explanation but can be fantastic offerings for a less adventurous eater. If your obscure items aren't selling, you should consider whether you want to keep them on your menu. So sometimes what you're thinking, and James said the same thing yesterday, the black hummus, even though it's something outstanding, it wasn't a seller. Do we want to keep it or do we want to take it away? But maybe another week with another item, and maybe not black, with the same ingredients but not black, might allure somebody else to take some for a meal, correct? So it's different ways of interpreting your dish. What you think is fabulous and envisioning it is not that great. So those are the things that you have to kind of look at and see. Too little, too big are both causes for concern. Look at the one on the left, look at the one on the right. If you get the one on the right, 3 people can eat off that plate. And you're taking 3 times, say 2 times $18.95. That's $40, guys, you tanked, that you could have had. You know, some places now, if you go to the high-end restaurants, the one on the left is basically what you get for $8.95. You think I'm kidding? You better not be hungry when you get there. Like my husband says on the way home, and let's stop someplace and get me something to eat. Because he's not used to that kind of meal. He's used to the one on the right. But I, as a chef, understand the one on the right is not acceptable.
Chef, I think sushi's like this, where
Yeah.
the perceived value isn't really there, and it's like you pay a lot for it.
A lot. So, too little, too big causes concern. Despite the large chain restaurants may advertise, not all customers are looking for enormous portions. I'm for one, I don't like a big portion on a plate. And the intent of taking food home and losing revenue is another key word, because if you're going to give them the one on the right, guys, you're still going to have a Go container that costs cha-ching for them to put it in to take it home. Got it? So you're defeating 2 purposes at one time. Some customers regard very large portion sizes as wasteful. As they know, they won't eat the leftovers when they get home. How many people eat leftovers? I really want to know this because I know what happens in my family. How many people eat leftovers?
I throw no food away, none.
Wow.
I call them planned overs because I plan on eating them the next day.
That's a good one.
It depends on the food.
Depending on what?
On what it is. Like pastas, I won't reheat a pasta, which
Really?
is 80% of what I would bring. Now, like if it's a hamburger, I'll bring the hamburger without the bun, but not like the bun.
The bun.
Breads don't heat up well in my microwave.
Really? Okay. So portion size as wasteful. As they know, they won't eat the leftovers, or the food will not reheat with the same quality and having it at the restaurant. Too little as is also a problem. It alternates the customer's perception of the value. Some people really think about what they spend and how they eat it and how they get there. To make sure. How much does your menu cross-utilize ingredients to eliminate waste? We keep bringing that up yesterday also, and today. to make it. Making an effort to use some ingredients like sauces, dressings, vegetables, spices can help ensure that you're making the best of your purchasing and keeping it low. The only problem that I have when you're doing that is not using the same sauce over and over again on the menu. That sauce is a dead giveaway. So you really have to be imaginative on spending money on different sauces to make it look like it's independent. Do you all understand what I'm saying? So if you're going to be using, say, a ranch dressing, I don't want ranch dressing on 5 different items on the menu. I'm just using a ranch dressing. It could be a Olay sauce or whatever. Don't use that all through the whole menu. People get tired of that. Then they think that you're not that imaginative to do it, to make it work. So make sure you can do best for purchasing and keeping your labor down and cutting and making more food. Is your menu written with an understanding with what equipment is needed? My gosh, that's really important. What kind of equipment you have? To save money, you should get as much as out of it as possible. A handful of pieces of equipment, if you only have one item on the menu that requires a salamander. What is a salamander? We talked about it a little bit. It's kind of a glorified broiler, isn't it? What is a salamander? Anybody work with a salamander before? Tell me, James, what it is.
It's a broiler, basically. It's a top broiler. Yeah, it's just it's great for like French onion soup and
creme brulee.
And creme brulee for sure. Yeah, I always cook when I did French onion soups. That's was the main thing, and then melting cheese on a cheeseburger.
It doesn't take long, does it? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it takes no time at all. I think it's what, like 600 degrees underneath the salamander or something. Yeah, like that?
It's really good. It's always on the front line.
Yep. Right at eye level where I can hit my head on it.
That's right. Are you sure you need that item on the menu? A lot of people use torches instead of that. If you are only making 1 or 2 types of bread, the cost of a proofer and the amount of space that it takes up would cost you more than the money that the profit for those 2 breads would make. How many loaves of bread are you making a day? How many loaves or how many, whatever you're making a day? You know, it's sometimes cheaper to buy bread for your restaurant than making it. Really? Why do you think all the hotels and all the restaurants buy bread? How much do you think it costs to make a loaf of bread? Anybody have an idea? When you did your breads, did you cost it out?
I know you can get a 50-pound bag of bread flour from Costco for $12 right now.
But just think about the person that you're paying hourly rate to make that bread. Do you know that even though you could make 300 loaves of bread with that 50 pound of flour, right? Think about you buying, what did you say, $12? And then a person, you're going to have to pay somebody around $14 an hour to make the bread. It doesn't take but 2 hours to make bread, right? It's on the average is 2 to 2.5 hours to make loaves of bread. You can buy a baguette from a bakery baked already for a hotel for 55 cents a loaf. Did you know that? 55 cents. How many loaves of bread are you going to use for bread at a station that is brought to the table a day? So think about that. And then what happens is some of these bread places, if you don't use the bread and you take it back, they give you credit. Did you know that? Think. Investigate. So if you have a contract with French bread, they take it back. They come back at the end of the day and pick up the bread the next morning when they're delivering the fresh bread for that day that you're ordering for that loaf. So you really have to think, utilize, and making your kitchen staff and your unit worth it all. Pay attention to detail. The word is think. Really important. So you're making 1 or 2 types of bread, the cost, like we said, with a proofer. But then again, if you're opening a restaurant, you better be at an auction buying all used restaurant equipment. Does the menu encourage upsales or increase check averages? Do you suggest ways of customers to add items to your meal? A la carte. What do you think the steak places make? They charge you for the steak, they charge you for the potato, they charge you for the vegetable, they charge you for the rolls, they charge you for everything. That's how they make their money. Upscale everything. And it ain't 99 cents, guarantee you. It's $2.99. You do that times 3, that's $9. If your steak is $18, you're bringing up your meal to $30. Do you get what I'm saying? You got to think of what you're going to do and how you relate to it. Add the proteins to a salad in one way and encourage an upscale. To understand. Is your menu written clearly and distinctively with accurate description, adjectives to make it work? Enticement of them, you taking and choosing it. Have you made revisions and edited and contact and grammar errors? Are you a description concise, be clear? Would somebody who is unfamiliar with your type of cuisine be able to understand your menu? Just because you think you understand it doesn't mean that they get it. It's like me talking sometimes and I think I'm trying to express something and it doesn't go over. You get what I'm saying? Or I'm saying, do you know what I mean? Every 2 words. How many times have you said that to somebody? You know what I mean?
Or, you understand? You understand what I mean?
Especially somebody really sometimes from Europe, they're trying to express in another language or coming to America to understand in English, to comprehend what they're trying to say. Or a Spanish person, how many times have you said, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean. So, understanding a menu. We know what the word jambalaya means. Look at that one. Greenwell pot roast. Everybody understands mac and cheese. I think if there was no mac and cheese, the kids would not survive today. That is one of the things that, I mean, they live on it. Hopefully we can make them step up and get it and come out of the comfort zone. Are menu items varied, technique and grilling? Do you need that fryer? Do you need the griller in your restaurant? The menu that showcases only a couple of techniques makes the restaurant and chef appear as if lack of vision and skill. as well as making the menu seem repetitive. Remember, don't have all frying items on a menu. People don't want that. They might want one or two. Make it a specialty. You know, fish and chips. Something different that you don't see everywhere else. Something that entices them to buy it. Make it local. Make it things that they are used to serving in Austin for people that come to Austin to want to go to your restaurant to buy. I keep telling you about good restaurants. I hope you take advantage of some of them. I just don't, I mean, I want to help them for their business, but I love good food. And when you find good food, make sure you tell somebody else about that good food, because that's how they're going to survive. And you could tell them it could be a date night thing for you to take them. So take your wife or your partner, it doesn't matter. Go and enjoy something. Don't keep working at something and don't get something, a reward in return. Work hard, but reward yourself for something that is well done. It might not be at 100% of what you want it to be, but guess what? You're getting there and you're taking the steps to conquer that. That's the important factor. We're giving you the stable or the foundation for you to grow from there. Jose, I don't see you. That's what I want. Thank you. So understanding what your recipe concept is all about. Lack of vision, skills. Do you need more skills? Then go get up and find somebody that can help you with that skill that you're looking for. Or go to your mentor and your mentor will help you find somebody that can help you make it happen. You don't meet somebody in your life, guys, by accident. I'm telling you from 70 years of my life, you don't meet somebody for an accident. You meet somebody that you're supposed to meet in your life to change your life a little bit. You get it? To understand and make you what? Who wants to say it?
Think, of course.
Thanks, Chef.
Thank you. I'm waiting this long for the one word. Think. I like Jonas. He's smiling today. He wasn't here yesterday, but we didn't miss him at all, did we?
I think you did.
Yeah, it's okay. Focus in on you, Pumpkin. He's trying to. But that's what it's all about. Needing each other to make it work and make a success out of it. We all need each other. I don't care what anybody says. You know what? I'm done with that class. I'm done. We're never done. We're always there to make things work. I always see Marcus as the first person sometimes, usually on TV, on the monitor. Makes my day. So we want to make sure that we all understand. And Matthew, sitting back and relaxing underneath the curtains. Like my grandmothers or his grandmothers. It's
You want
okay.
me to send them? You want me to send them to you?
No, I don't want them. I got enough of them.
Okay.
But the thing is, it cost me money because I went to Europe to get them and bring them back.
You should see the couch I'm sitting on.
No, that's all right. No, mine's a little bit more advanced. But is it comfortable? No? Okay.
Not at all.
Okay, so one thing I do need to ask you, Are you grateful to be there?
You daggone right.
You get what I'm saying? So when things are help, are the helping hand, it's grateful. You can't judge. You know? So at least the storm went away, didn't it? Did you hear that thunder and lightning this morning? It was pretty fierce. But today is supposed to be a good day. Yesterday was up to 93. Did you know this, Doc? 93. This is only April. Can you imagine what July is going to be like? If anybody hasn't been here in July, you better get your, be ready. They always say, you come to Austin. I came to Austin on 4th of July weekend and I was hot, but you stay here 1 year and you get used to the weather and it's okay. You sweat like a dog the first year though. I mean, you sweat, but it becomes acceptable. And I love Austin. Do you all love Austin? James, do you love Austin? Good?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, can't complain.
Okay. All want to go home, I hope. Remember, we don't need you here in Austin. We want to help you drive. We don't want you on the road and me behind you and saying, move. So most chefs prefer to write their menu and their versions of it. However, some menu items might be beyond the skill of a cook. It could be handled in a number of ways. If you decide to leave the item, the question on the menu will need to conduct more personalized and extensive training. So think about something. How do you interpret that? Do I have the skill to do it? Do I need to learn how to deliver it? Find it. Find somebody that could help you to deliver it. Go work somewhere where somebody has to offer that to you to make it work. Really important. If you don't know, go ask. Don't be bashful. You could go to the executive chef or you can go to a friend that is a mentor to you and say, could you kind of help me get to where I want to be? Really important. Don't try to do it by yourself because then you get down on yourself and you're never happy. And you put a load on you. Ask and they will deliver. Does the menu have options for those with allergies and restricted diets? The whole world is becoming with allergies. Remember, that's why you've got to be so truthful on your menu. Don't fool around, guys. People love to be so happy. And I mean it. This world is different. Got to be upfront. If you're upfront, everything else will work. This may not mean that you have to have those items listed, but you should have a menu item that can be adjusted if necessary to accommodate the guest. A gluten-free item. I'm not going to say do a whole diet unless your whole restaurant is gluten-free or vegan. Put one item. Don't put a list, because if you're doing a list of gluten-free items, what are you going to go do then if you have a regular restaurant? Then you've got things on a shelf that you might not even sell one a day. You might sell 5 a day, but that one item, do you get what I'm saying? Another cha-ching factor. If you're seeing more and more people are coming in with gluten-free, then you might want to put more item on it. Think about it to make it work. The menu. The menu is the single most important communication tool. It lets patrons know that your restaurant's identity. It gives patrons an idea that they should expect from your restaurant. Expect. If you live up to your quality ingredient, they already know what to expect. And word of mouth, remember? Coming in, getting it. The entire okay. So give patrons an idea what to expect in your restaurant. It acts like your business card online, in a way of communicating your entire culinary philosophy through its appearance, offering, and description. In many ways, your menu is a restaurant, and you should always work to make it best as possible can be. Paying attention to detail. What do we take away from this lecture? Understand the surrounding. Understand what people are serving around you. Is your price point the same? Utilizing all the stuff that's in your kitchen to make it work. Do we want to give recipes out of the block, or do we want good, homey kind of food? That some people are tired of the out of the box theme, are going to gravitate towards what they want. How many people really like old, homey kind of food? Matthew's different. He doesn't. He wants weird ducks. Jose, what kind of food do you like?
I just mostly stick with Tex-Mex food.
Tex-Mex food? Is that what your whole life is?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What kind of Tex-Mex food do you like?
Well, you know, like fajita.
You love fajitas?
Yeah.
Chicken or beef?
Pinto.
Y'all are making me hungry.
God.
Who's saying that? Kimberly?
Me.
What kind of food do you like?
Anything. I will literally eat almost anything.
You'll eat almost anything?
I will not eat a tomato or an oyster.
You don't eat tomatoes?
Or oysters.
Or oysters? I can't. No, that doesn't go down well with me either. They just keep coming back up. No, I can't have oysters either. But I do like clams. I love steamers. Anybody like steamers? With the bellies? Yeah, they're the best. Because that's where the flavor is in New England. Yep. What kind of food do you like, Loretta?
I love Southern cuisine, greens, beans, peas, okra, things. I don't necessarily like to cook that type of food, but I love eating it.
Yeah. Jonas, what kind do you like?
I like all kinds of food, Chef.
Particular.
I love Mexican food, Italian, Japanese. I love sushi. I could eat sushi all day. I could eat chicken wings all day. I could eat steak all day.
Really? Boy, you really are. You're in the perfect position, really, to cook. We're loving all that kind of food.
Oh yeah.
And interpret it. That's really good. I can only do vegetable sushi. I cannot get to do the other. Now I don't make sense because I love pickled herring, and that's raw, and I can eat that, but I can't eat sushi. So maybe it's psychological in my brain that I can't eat all that other stuff. So, but that's good. James, what kind of food do you like?
I'm a Southern soul food kind of guy.
A soul food kind of guy. Robert?
I like seafood.
You like seafood. So when you see food, you like to eat it, or is it like the seafood from the ocean?
More from the ocean, but I'll eat anything.
Okay. Matthew, do we need to dare ask you what you like?
Oh, we've not met yet, but when we meet, I'm fat, so I eat pretty much anything.
You're
But
not, in other words, you're not undernourished.
I'm pleasantly plump.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Roro, what do you like?
I like anything with seafood, mac and cheese, and sushi. Those are my favorites, but I can eat anything.
Really? You don't like, you like Mexican food?
Yeah, I like Mexican food.
Okay.
I like everything, but my go-tos are seafood, mac and cheese, sushi all the time.
Okay, Marcus, what do you?
Oh, I thought it froze for a second. As far as food that I like to eat goes, it's somewhere between Italian, I guess, and very Thai style stuff. It's I don't really have a favorite per se. I just know the flavors I enjoy.
Okay. So do you like Oriental kind of food or fresh vegetables, fresh soups, kind of fresh?
I do like fresh vegetables, fresh produce and stuff is really something I enjoy. A lot of the sweet heat that comes from the Oriental styles, a lot of the sauces, and a lot of the flavors that come from Italian style things. Seafood is really interesting to me, even though I haven't worked a lot with it. Just again, the flavors that come together are really more than I enjoy the dishes themselves.
Sure. Randall, what do you like?
Like the majority of everybody, I eat a little bit of everything, but I like seafood, crab legs, lobster, oysters, shrimp. I love steak. I can eat steak, chicken wings, So pretty much everything. I'm a man. I like meat.
I cannot get over Austin really, for me, loving chicken wings and those, what do they call them, drumsticks or little?
Yeah, little drumsticks.
Yeah, with the chicken wings. I mean, it is really unbelievable how pluckers do so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ivan, what do you like?
I'm sorry?
What kind of food do you like?
I really like Mediterranean food, like Greek, kind
Do you like Greek? You're the first person to bring up Greek.
like gyros and stuff. I think that's the right way to say it.
Right across the street from the school that does a pretty decent one, from what I understand.
There's a really good place pretty close to my house, too.
Yeah,
hmm
really well done.
Italian food too. I agree with what Marcus was saying. All the sauces and the flavors that come with Italian.
Are you a person that likes sauces that you dip stuff in to eat?
Yeah,
Or flavor?
definitely.
Italians have that olive oil with that bread that can just, I mean, how many people love bread? I mean, really love bread. My kids will eat 4 bowls of bread before they eat their meal when we get to a restaurant. I tell them to bring 2 or 3 out baskets up because the bread's gone before anything else. Remember,
My sister's birthday, she just wants a big baguette. That's all she wants.
Who's this?
My sister, she just wants a baguette. That's all
Yeah.
she is, a loaf of bread.
Yep, so good, isn't it? And especially when it's warm and you got hot butter on it. It's even better. Remember, in Europe, a lot of people, to sustain and live through Europe at the time of war and the hard times, bread and tea were the 2 items that they lived on. Bread, butter, and tea. So dry bread. So everybody just kind of loves bread. Andre, what do you like?
I like a lot of food. I can't even pinpoint a bunch of stuff, but I like pastas. I like soups. I like a bunch of stuff.
Did you see what we were just talking about, that seaweed cooking?
That sounds good.
Did you see it, or were you sleeping in between?
No, I didn't see it. my phone's kind of like messing up right now. So
Okay. Well, look back and see, but it's really a good, some of the items are different out of the box to make sure that things work, to make things do different things.
yes,
Anybody
chef.
else have anything else that comes out what we're talking about? Andre, do you want to say something?
No, I'm good, chef.
You're good? Okay. Anybody else? Different things? I will learn about the sweet knowledge tests. I'll make sure that they're all opened up for you all guys for the rest of the week and the next week. And then tomorrow we are going to be in, tomorrow we are doing day 26 and it's really officially day 19. And that is not posted yet. It will be posted today to make sure that we get it done. And then on Friday, we'll be doing a lecture on day 27. And I think Chef posted them already. And next week we have a full week. The next week after that is only 2 days. And in those 2 days, we are going to be talking about making sure that we get our projects done. So you can stand up for 5 minutes. It's a show and tell type of thing, telling us a little bit about your restaurant. I want it personable. I want to make sure that I understand what your restaurant concept is, what your menus are. If you want to show up your menu written out for people to understand it, some slides if you want, and for you to interpret what you want to offer us. It's a little bit more difficult than doing it in the kitchens or at school, interpreting what it is. So this way of teaching is adjusting to what the way of life is of the last couple of weeks, and maybe for the next couple of weeks more to go. And then and for the school to decide what they're going, which direction they're going to go.
Have you not seen the email that Shelly sent out saying that next block we will be online as well?
Yeah. So what do all of you know basically what you're going to be doing in the next block? Anybody know?
Not really, because some of us only have farm to table left. And so
Yeah.
that'll be tricky to navigate. Like I know like me and Randy and Ro and Robert and Trent, we've got all we've got left is the farm to table.
That's all you have left before you graduate.
And entrepreneurship.
Oh, that's right, Rob. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The note writing. I hope they're
And
next.
technical writing also.
That's
The creative
right.
writing
Okay,
class.
so hold on. So we got 2 more blocks left, don't we?
Yeah, 2 more.
Okay, I was wrong about that. Ignore me.
Well, we wish we could, but we can't. But it's all right.
It's because I'm so good looking, right?
Okay.
Uh,
You're married. It's okay. You don't have to look good anymore.
I need a haircut.
well, he's the lucky one. He's the one that his wife comes and keeps giving him food or something. He's the only one that has service delivered to him.
Oh, that's my
Friend for ourselves. Yeah, that's the way to do it. But any other things that you need to ask about a project, if you need any help, I'm going to be talking to Roro today, right now. And then Cecile, she's not here today. She's not at all in class, so I don't know where she's doing. But anybody else besides that, talking about it? Loretta, I will see what I can do about Stephanie coming and talking to us about personal trainers, or not personal trainer, but the meals, on how to set up a meal, making it ready for salesmanship. You know,
I think that was for Roe.
huh?
I think that was for Roe.
Oh, that was for Ro. That's right. You're right, Ro. I got
Yes, catering for Loretta.
catering for a limited menu. so many different items that we're going to be doing. Remember, so many different ventures that we can take with the Escoffier program to do what we want to do. So there's never a mistake or never a mistake on how to come across. Loretta, you're the one that wanted Molly's catering business. I will text that to you today. And
Yes, Chef.
I will let you know, James, on Sandra Bullock's Bakery downtown. And to see, it's really, I'll get you that name. It's worth, when everything starts running again, it is worth walking in there to just see how it's run. Not necessarily the menu so much. They have really a nice upscale menu that you can add. It's like a snack bar. It's not like a dinner menu, but they do have brunch on Sundays. But it is a good way of them interpreting what you do to make it happen. So different ways of interpreting. Anybody else? So the knowledge keys that I will make sure that they're open today. Roro, you and I can stay on if you need to. Loretta, I will find out about Stephanie tomorrow. James, I will find out about Sandra's. Anybody else have any questions and the knowledge key things that I need to take care of? Other than that, it's going to be a beautiful day after a real thunderstorm this morning that really woke a lot of people up and did a lot of lightning strikes. And hopefully the dogs calm down and make things work. I appreciate your time and effort to make sure we had did you have any questions, Jonas? No, you're okay? Okay, thanks. We're glad you're back today. Make sure you keep calling your teammates and make sure, and Randall, I'm glad you're back. And I hope everybody feels better. Kendricks has already gone bye-bye. I don't know where he is. Gary, are you still there? Good morning or afternoon by the time we're done. To make things work, to make sure we all understand each other. Thanks for a great day. And Roro, stay on. So I'm going to talk to you so we don't have to call back each other. Matthew, thank you for a great day. Robert, James, everybody. Kimberly, Jose, thank you.
Have a good day, Chef.
Have a good day, Chef.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Really. Thank you, Randall.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Pumpkin. Okay, so I'm getting on here. So, Roro, looking at it for me, it says outside menu. It says outside menu, right?
Yes, ma'am. Outside.
Then it has breakfast, parfaits,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes to muffins.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that maybe instead of having 2 pages and then the next one is lunch, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Instead of sandwiches containing salmon, bagels, pesto, tomato pesto, loaded veggies, instead of making it all, can we kind of consolidate it to 1 page instead of having it 2 pages? But you might want to you might want to think that you're going on another adventure, right? Instead of doing this, correct?
Yes. Well, it's going to be 1 page. It is 1 page. It's 1 page. back. Yes, ma'am. I wanted to make it like that.
Yeah.
You just really flip it over and it's gonna have the lunch menu on one side and the breakfast menu.
Back side. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I get it now. All right. All right.
But I'm gonna change my whole menu because I want to do the meal prepping. So people are gonna want different meals all the time. So I was thinking about giving a menu each week and having whoever the clientele is choose. And then I will.
A great place to is a deal with a gym.
Ma'am, go to places that deal
with the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And take up your menu and see if there's somebody's offering them meals that, listen, that they would get a commission out of it. They're not going to do it for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. They're not going to let you come in there and give them a card and not them making any money. I mean, that's the whole goal, is for them to make money and you to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I have another person, Kathy, that would be a great person for you to talk to because she does farmers market in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
And she does meals for people. But if you can make a deal with a gym, I think that would be a great route to take. Go to a name that has the same gym but has different places, so you can multitask with that one name of that gym instead of going to one individually that you'd have to be running 10 times over. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
the same gym, like different locations.
At different locations.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you might want to do the 3 that are around where you live. You live north or south?
I live southwest, kind of towards Bastrop, going toward Del Valley.
Oh, wow.
Say by nothing, but I don't mind because I'm from Austin. So everything's have always been far for us. But I don't mind driving out because I was gonna rent.
I think you talking to Stephanie would be a great asset to you because she's been doing this for probably about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
She knows yay or nay.
Mm-hmm.
She's the type of person, she's another giver. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some people that are not givers.
Mm-hmm.
They won't talk to you because they want you to figure it out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But she is a person that would love to share and enable you to grow and make it work. And I think that's a really important factor in any business that you want to get into. You need somebody to be a mentor to you, to ask them, this is kind of a dumb question to ask you.
Oh, no, I ask all questions.
You're telling your mentor a dumb question to ask you, but I think I need to ask because this is the reality of where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
I need to start a business to make it grow. What do I need to do first? And she'll say, well, and you'll say, well, you know what? I don't know if I can get there, but in this week or next week, but let me work on it to see what I can conquer to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as a ground rule for me, my knowledge is hotels and restaurants, hotels and country clubs. If you need to know anything about country clubs and hotels, I'm in because I lived it for 30 years. I know the ins and outs. I know what to do. But for me to do, Molly, she does an awful lot of these pre meals like HEBs. I think you go into HEB now, the whole world food like they do. You know what I mean? That's what they make. That's what
they got the meal simples. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they're. I thought HEB was making bundles of money, and I asked my son because my son worked for HEB for 11 years. He was a sommelier for HEB. But he said, Mom, right now they're losing money. And I said, how can they're losing money? They've got freaking people lying stuff. And he said, Mom, don't forget, the cold cut section is closed. The bread section is closed.
Mm-hmm.
So people are not buying those things that they came in to buy all the time. This section is closed. Think about that. They're starting to open up again. He said, Mom, they lost their shirt. And I said, how could they have lost their shirt? There was nothing on there's nothing on the shelves because people were hoarding it. So you have to kind of think about the level of which way they go. For you, if you're going in this direction that you just sent me, I thought the other one was pages of it. So now if it's on the back side, I get a little bit more. I don't think that, remember when you use the soup, you need to put how many ounces you're going to put in it.
Yes.
large or small, instead of just saying broccoli and cheese. So you need to say 5 ounces or 4 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to go up the price. So if you're going to do 4 ounces, you can put that on the side and then have a description of what you're going to be doing. Shrimp bisque, same thing, a little bit of description. I know you gave me a guideline of what you were going to serve without mention of the adjectives that were describing it. You know, I understand that part. Meatballs, are they, which kind of meatballs are you wanting? Do they have some cheese in it? Do they have some chorizo in it? They have, a lot of Italians use chorizo. I don't know if you realize that. Mixing the hamburger meat with chorizo to give that flavor of that hinge.
That sounds good.
Of what it, and it is. I mean, I make spaghetti sauce with chorizo.
Yes.
Chorizo, did you know that? And you take it out of the casing, just put it in, and you'll find out that it has that little edge to it, little kick to it. It gives that.
I like chorizo.
Pimento cheese, my favorite. I mean, I live on pimento cheese sandwiches, and grilled cheese sandwiches. Cream cheese cucumbers. Never heard of that one before.
I think it's a Benedictine sandwich. It's a tea sandwich.
I love, okay, it's a sandwich. So yes. I love cucumbers because I think cucumbers is, for Texas, it is so light. It is not a hot meal. It is something that really gravitates good taste. So you've got really some great menus.
And remember, Chef, I'm trying to stay healthy.
I understand.
Yes.
I understand. Tomato basil pesto. My gosh.
I'm trying to also avoid meaty sandwiches. Yes, ma'am.
I understand because, like, I don't eat meat. I eat cream cheese, or I eat, which is another great cheese to use for sandwiches. Girl, is Boysen cheese. Have you ever had Boysen cheese? Boursin.
Boursin?
Yeah, Boysen cheese. A little bit pricey. But you know which other thing that you could really sell, which would be a really great thing to do for here? How about a cheese tray or a cheese block? Go to you could go to H-E-B, or you could go to Lowe's and buy little bread, planks of wood, and put the cheese in it, wrap it, and take it to somebody for their lunch. So they could have 2 different types of cheeses and 2 different types of crackers. If you want to make some oyster crackers yourself. Go something out of the box that to make you unique by yourself. I think that cheese thing would be a great item to do. Do another one with meat. Say, I have one with meat, but don't put like 10 different types of meat. Just put maybe ham and turkey. You know what I mean? Or maybe, or you can do one just by itself to order chicken. Do something, that chicken tikka that we were talking about would be a great item to put on a cheese, on a display, a meat display. But think about what would go with with chicken. It doesn't have to be mashed potatoes. You could just do chicken and a salad to go with it. But put it on that little block. I don't know. The ones that you put salmon on and you put it in the grill and you grill it. You know what I'm talking about? Cedar planks.
Cedar planks?
Yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. Put that in that budget to figure out how much that plank cost. You can buy it by 50, 100 pieces to a box. You can order it, and you've got 100 orders already done. You know which one to use. That's cool. What are you smiling at? I want to know what you're smiling at.
Because you're giving me all the keys, Chef. The keys that I need. You're giving me all the keys that I need.
What?
You're giving me.
I love this business. You feel it?
I know.
I get excited
Mm-hmm.
because it's a different form of imagination of how you interpret something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to stay healthy, why don't you do a fruit plate?
Mm-hmm. That's on the menu.
You know what I mean? A
Yes,
small one.
ma'am.
Don't do it like
Mm-mm.
they're gonna feed the army. Remember what I said? You got to do it
Portions.
logically correct for the
Mm-hmm.
amount that you need that person to eat for lunch or dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Start making them this big, they're going to share and they're not going to order from you.
Mm-hmm.
And make it competitive and look around to see some of the prices of what other people do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna get a membership because the one that has a meal planner is called Snap Kitchen, just to get a membership just to see how they operate and how
And what they offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you they don't have a cheese tray. I bet you.
Mm-hmm.
And do it in the small planks. You know, the ones we had at school that we put the salmon on or whatever. You can buy these small planks. Now, if you don't want to do cedar, you know, you could say you reutilize this plank that I'm giving you and cook a meal on it yourself. So when they're paying that $7.95 or that $8.95, you're offering them something that they can reuse.
Mm-hmm. Think. Yes, ma'am.
You know, and that's what overall that you have to do is to think about what you want to do to make it grow.
So I'm gonna reorganize my menu and everything. I just needed that little get push, so just to know for how your feedback.
And think about muffins if you need a recipe. I mean, if you really want to do healthy stuff, I'll give you my handbook on healthy cooking. I'll give you gluten-free, vegan-free. I'll give you all of those recipes. And you want it, I'll give them to you. I'll give you a book.
Don't say that, chef. I'm gonna take it around. Huh? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when I get back into school, I'll give it to you. You corner me, and I'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not a problem. And that will kind of, if that's the way you want to go, is the healthy way. And that's what I did for Stephanie. I gave her, because remember, at one time, we taught healthy baking for a whole week, 5 days.
That also, because.
And now we're down to 1 day. So all the stuff that we collected for that 1 week, guess what? I keep I'm a hoarder. You know, I'm the hoarder of things that you never know when you need it again.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about hoarding trash. I'm talking about materials.
Mm-hmm.
Like what we need.
Gems.
So I will definitely give you that, or you can use along the road to make anything possible, anything sweet, pies, anything. How about I can give you a recipe right now? I mean, I'll give it to you in the packet. Avocado key lime pie. Don't even have to bake it. It's a seller by itself.
Avocado key lime pie. I mean, because avocado doesn't even have a taste, really, to me.
You try that and you let me know. And you see that smile on your face? You're going to have it even bigger than that. That's how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done making things for me. I'm here as a mentor to make people aware of what can happen in their life. But the only thing is, in life, you've got to keep stuff for yourself to make you profitable, but later on to pass it on. That's what I wish for you. And that's what I try to do. Is my job now is, after working in a hotel, begging me not to leave, but it was time for me to pass it on. And that's what it's all about. Learning to pass it on and making other people smile and be happy. You know, because there's a lot of people that are never happy, never. But look around America today, guys. I know everybody's bitching, everybody's complaining, everybody's moaning. you know, this is one of the greatest countries in the world, the greatest countries in the world. And you know what? Stop criticizing it and deal with it and make people happy. That's what it's all about. You can't please everybody. You cannot, unless you please yourself first. And when you accomplish that first, then you can make everybody else happy. And these people get off the pot. They need to. They don't want me there because I tell them, I look at them a certain way and they wouldn't want me.
They don't like the truth, but
they don't know, and not necessarily that you think that I'm bullshitting. I want the best for the person, for the country of it is. And they don't want to hear it. You know, because they think, oh, well, you're this person. I don't give a shit who person I am. I vote for who I want to vote for. It doesn't have to be Republican. It doesn't have to be Democrat. I vote for the person that does the most job for this state, for this country.
Efficient.
Well, picture. I've been through stuff that I didn't have. Nothing. I've been there. You know?
You have to work for a shift. I know.
You know, like somebody said, go back to work, for God's sakes. Let us go back to work, or people to go back to work. And don't criticize everything that somebody else has got to pay for. Can't. I agree that America has to help people that are not as fortunate as we are. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding.
I know. I think it's really selfish, but yes.
But I think we need to take care of Americans.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to rephrase it so it doesn't sound bad, but it isn't bad, but we need to take care of Americans, period. And to make it work. I don't care what color you are. I really don't. That has no interest to me. If you got here and you're American, I love you.
Yeah, I love you. We're humans.
No problem with me. No,
yes.
I don't care if you're Chinese. Like I call one of my chefs Chinese because she's taken a lot of Czech recipes and does it in her Asian country food. So, you know, it's just the way it is. I love America. And I love my job. I hope I express that when I talk. I've been with Escapier 10 years, and this has been a challenge for me.
This online?
Well, the online I've got, but getting to that stuff to get it prepared to do it is not as easy as it looks. And even for you all, you know,
yeah,
I mean, people that, you know, and now, I mean, if we're going to go to teaching, baking online is a hard proposition. And, you know, I don't like cameras. So
you have to set it up. You have to set up a whole camera so you can see.
Yeah, they want, I mean, in my kitchen, I mean, just thinking about,
yes.
You know, and what bothers me is the banquet at the end of the class, you know, it's just, you're losing out so much. And but we have to, you know, I have to kind of go with the flow. And you know what? It might change my mind and it'll make me smile. And I hopefully that they'll smile because I try to make people smile and get over some of the issues.
Chef. You're learning about technology. You're learning how to set up your whole camera space. That's what people on YouTube do these days, you know.
Oh yeah, you know. I mean, there's another venue that I could go into that I never thought I was going to go into before. You know, so did I answer some of your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Another thing, don't make so many items on a menu.
Yes, I'm gonna re-edit everything, and
because for the simple reason, the more you have, the more items you got to have, the more cost involved, the more inventory. Remember, a lot of people don't like to go to a buffet or a restaurant and have 15 different types to choose from. You say, "Oh my God, what do I get?" Make it simple. If you're having a buffet line, make it 3 items. If you have more than 3 items, they're going to stand there and hold up the line. And what is your dream? To let that line keep flowing, make sure that it keeps moving, to make sure that you feed that 150 people, not clogging it up. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Did I answer all your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I will talk to Stephanie, and if she can't come on, I will give her your information so she can talk to you. And to you because she is a wonderful young lady that she's got this. I don't
like it either, but I like to work out.
Yeah, well, oh no, she works out.
She's a bodybuilder.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, and she goes into competition for that muscle building thing. You know what I mean? I told her I don't know how they do it, but her husband and her are a team, so they kind of work together, and it's so wonderful to see that. Well, I love talking to you, girl.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be here tomorrow.
And I will get you Stephanie's. I will get Stephanie to get on board, and then Loretta get her dreams done too.
Yes.
And to get different things done. So Marcel, he's not there. I think he's gone. But anyway, thanks for a great day. If you need anything ever, ask me. I will get those recipes to you. You know what? If you send me your address, I could even mail it to you. How's that?
Yes.
Why don't you do that? Send me an
Yes,
address to you. I'd love to put it in an envelope. It's probably 50 or 60 recipes.
I'll take it.
I know you would, and that way you can kind of have an idea of what you want to serve. You know, and different interpretations of gluten-free versus. And another thing I want you to learn is I don't think they teach you healthy baking in culinary, do they?
No, nope.
So I'm going to give you the recipe for gluten-free flour. How to make gluten-free flour instead of buying it is double the cost of it. You might have to, in the initial cost of it, cost a lot because you're buying quantities of it. But when you mix it, it'll become a lot cheaper for you to do it. So think about that. I'll send you all of that stuff. Don't worry.
Yes, ma'am.
Take that smile off your face.
No, never.
I love your hair today.
Thank you. I'm gonna take the braids out. It's braided up, so when I take it out, it'll be curly.
Oh, well, yeah, I know. But it looks good that way.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day, and thanks again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chef.
Bye-bye, honey. Have a great day. Bye.
You too.
Ciao.
You want me to email over my home address?
Yeah, email it now. And when I get out today or tomorrow, I will mail it to you. And that way you'll have Christmas in April. I know. And when I get out, because I go to the post office and do some stuff, so I will mail it to you. And so I want to see that when you open it up, I want that smile, and you'll say, thank you.
I'm going to take it one night.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef.
Bye.